Howdy folks, got a 3D printing job on the go this weekend. Called in last week actually, but went and took a look at the job. Took some, in this case of course, calipers that will also use metric, because again with 3D printing, you're best to just use the metric stuff. Don't try to use standard or normal. Also took a really good pencil, gotta have a good pencil, and a piece of paper to write all the notes down on, take the measurements of what I needed. This was a really simple job, but it comes from an industrial type vacuum system for pulling, trash in kind of thing for a shop. And it's got a large, over 100 millimeter intake on it, and the guy wants to be able to reduce it to a pipe size that will work the rest of his shop. And his pipe size in the rest of his shop, I think, was OD was 58 millimeter, for example. So this is a really cool project because with a 3D printer, it's easy to draw that up, manufacture it, and the customer or the client will be super happy, with what you did. And I see this stuff like this sold online even all the time for adapters, for vacuums, cleaners, for shop vacs, that kind of thing, to certain things. Well, right there we did the Viver right there. We made an adapter that would hook to my local shop vac thing, so we could use it on there. But it's just one of those projects I just love doing because it's so, when you're drawing up round stuff, I find it's really cool. And I usually use Fusion 360. Today I thought we would try using Plasticity, for CAD drawing, and see how that works with something simple round. It should be pretty easy, but it's Plasticity, and I'm not good with Plasticity, so let's see how all this goes. Okay, try to stay with me here. All right, we're on Plasticity, and the first thing we're going to see is, of course, this crazy cube, so we're just going to delete the cube. Okay, we're going to try that again. This is why I say, like, Plasticity and me, we don't get along too good, but I've been trying to learn it. Now, I've got it set for 1 millimeter scale on this here, so that's the very first thing we're going to do is close in. Then we're going to go to the top, that's not the top. Okay, there's the top. And let's see if I can get this up a little bit further, a little higher, so we can see it better. There we go. And we're going to start with a circle. And this is why I just have so much fun with Plasticity, because it actually locates the circle for you. It shows you this reference point. And then we're going to come out. Now we're going to tab. And the first thing we're going to run into, of course, is going to do 50. Oh no, we're going to do the big one. We're going to do the 94, I think it was. 0.20 millimeter, and hit the enter, because we're going to basically accept that. Now the next thing I'm going to do is grab another circle, because now we're going to do the outside of this thing, and we're going to come out even further. And I want about 4 millimeters thick roughly, so 92, so add 90, so 96, add another one, so 102 millimeters, and we'll tab that in. And now there's the ring that we want. And then this first ring, oops, there we go, is going to be 30 millimeters. So we'll just take a quick look at that, and I'll say okay. Now I'm going to turn this to the side view for a second, just so you can see what we did. We've come up 30 millimeters from the top. Then I'm going to make another circle, and we're going to come out even further, but this time we're going to create a ridge out over here. This is where I guess you could say the difference between like Fusion 360 and Plasticity works. When I'm working at this level and I make my circle, let's do the circle thing, and I'm going to come out, I'll just come out here about here, so roughly I want a ridge. It's gone all the way across the page, so you can see like all the way across. It is like one big flat plate on top of that 30 millimeters, and in fact I'll hit enter and whatever. And so then we're going to extrude this up about 10 millimeter, but the problem is this. See, you're going to end up extruding the whole thing, and that's where I have a failure. I don't understand how to fix this in Plasticity just yet. So let's draw this up and see how it comes. Okay, always look good to lose a few clips. Here's the finishing project, but you can see what we started with was this base here. Then we made this thing here, and then of course we made this little piece up the top here. Now, to punch the hole through here, I had a lot of trouble with that. Again, I'm really weak on this Plasticity programming so far. There's another problem we're going to talk about with plasticity, but we'll go to the workbench and I'll just sort of show you what's going on here. But there's the part we want, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to start. We'll put that on the printer. I'm just going to put it on a small little CAD printer and run it, because it's not a big part. I think it's 102 is the biggest part, and the CAD is good for about 150 millimeters, something like that. So we'll run that. And but my biggest problem is punching a hole down through this, and I did manage to do it using Q. One of the shortcuts on their keyboard here to get it done. But like I say, Plasticity and me, we're still having a pretty rough time. So here's what we're doing. Here's the part being made right now. A lot of support going on right there right now, which I'm not happy about. But it was like, there was no way around it without me drawing fancier with the Plasticity, and right now I can't. I'm still having a lot of issues with Plasticity as far as drawing things. But I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to close in a little bit. And if you look carefully at the top here, you can see that the roundness is not round. It's flat, turns, flat, turn, flat, turn. It's not round. It just is not round. And I'm having trouble with Plasticity doing this to me all the time with anything round features like this. And it's not good. In fact, it's unacceptable. I'm going to have to experiment with Plasticity a lot to see if we can get out of that. Now, the reason could be is because I'm importing using an STL file and flipping that over to a slicer. It could be that if I use the OBJ file or a 3MF or something else, I might be able to get away from that and not have that flatness, to a round item. At least that's the biggest, one of the many, many, many headaches I've got with Plasticity right now. The program is a great price and you own it and everything else, all that's wonderful, but when you go to use it and something like this happens, it's not worth anything. It's not worth a nickel, to tell you the truth. But if we can get to where we can print things that are rounded and not flat squared like that, going around a circle, that would make for a good product. This does not. This is acceptable because of the type of conditions we're working with, the vacuum system, and it'll have seals, rubber seal at each end, so it's not really a big deal. It'll be fine, but in most situations with a client, you would not be able to get away with anything like this. Yeah, so this is probably not this would not be a great example, but this is nice and round, but this is probably drawn up in Fusion 360. I'm not really sure where this file came from, but everything on the round corners like this, they're round. They don't have that weird little flat spot. Kind of reminds me of that program. I believe it was called Onshape. And it would do this little flat thing if you had like the free version or something. So it would kind of screw you over. Plasticity shouldn't be doing that, but it is. And I've been looking on there to see if there's any way we can, export the file with high quality or something like that. And there doesn't seem to be a feature like that, but it does export in a lot of different file formats. So that could be the key to getting a more rounded finish on your 3D print. I'm not sure. I guess what bothers me is, let's face it, Plasticity is probably about the best priced CAD program out there, because you buy it, you own it, it's in your computer, and you can use it. The problem is I'm not getting good quality prints so far from Plasticity. I am having a lot of issues such as that. Also working with it, I'm finding it to be an absolute bear to work with at this point compared to Fusion 360. But it is doing some things that I think are better than Fusion 360. That would be, that's characteristically kind of hard to explain unless you sit down in a CAD program and you're drawing something. There are a couple of things about Plasticity that I found were like, man, this is better than Fusion 360 for this feature. But my biggest criticism on Plasticity, and I hope somebody out there at Plasticity hears me one of these days, when it comes to punching a hole, when you use Fusion 360, the hole, just to make a hole, you have a fantastic selection of programming and what you can do to create the hole and to create, the depth of the hole, and you could have two holes at two different depths, that sort of thing. In Plasticity, that's a lot of steps, and I tell you right now, so far at this point, I've had it for, I guess, over a month, easily over a month now. I can't do it. It just doesn't seem to want to do what I want to do at this point, and I'm very frustrated with the program. And it's $150, and I would really like to be able to use it for production purposes. And at this point, I can be dead honest with the viewers here, yeah, you and me. I haven't been able to produce anything, you know, that's really worth a nickel off of the Plasticity so far because of things such as not getting a rounded file when I go to print it. Little things like that. Also working on a plate right now for a fella over in Arizona, and we've been sort of, you know, running back and forth with it. And he says, well, here, just punch this hole here and put a slot in. And I went to do that on Plasticity, and it was like, I just can't do it. I'm trying to get the program to punch the hole, create the slot in my model, and it just, you know, I'm at the point of just like, you know, I can't do it. So there's a lot of issues with Plasticity that they can probably be done by someone who's an expert or very comfortable with Plasticity. I'm not comfortable with it at all. I am having a lot of stumbling, a lot of problems with it. Just making something basic like this today on Fusion 360 would be a no-brainer, but I really wanted to use Plasticity just to give it a shot to do something that wasn't really calling for, you know, exact dimensions. We could be a little off or a little flat spotted on the round, that sort of thing, and that would be okay. So I thought, well, we'll go ahead and do it today, and I wanted to share it with you guys as to where I'm at with Plasticity, because I know we talked about it before, and I've kind of said, whoa, this is, you know, maybe a CAD program for us. But at this time, the production of the model itself on a 3D printer so far is part of the problem, and also using the programs that are in there. And again, I'll just go back to making a hole. It shouldn't be as difficult. You have to hit Q for the boolean, and at that point, everything on my system seems to just explode at that point, you know, and it's like, no, I don't want that. I don't want it here. I want it over there, you know, this sort of thing. And really frustrating, very frustrating to use. But let's go back and rewind a little bit. Fusion 360 took me months to slowly work from making just a cube to making a circle. And I slowly got more and more into the programming of Fusion 360 till I was comfortable and I could whip stuff up. And to this day, I still have certain issues with Fusion 360. One of the great things about Plasticity is dimensionally, when you're working with something, if you were, say, drawing this up, you could do this on Plasticity actually easier, than Fusion 360. Fusion 360 can do it and do a brilliant job of it, but Plasticity, you'd measure across here, make your two holes, space them apart, measure the total distance, stretch it out till it hits that dimension, and you'd have that part. That part would be drawn up. And that's so easy, so simple, so stupid. Fusion 360, you have a problem right here. We're trying to get this centered up to over here, where if you have the snap-on turned on in Plasticity, it will snap to the highest point of the circle, and you can bring it over here and snap it to this end. I can't get Fusion 360 to do that, which is like, it's like, whoa, yeah. Anyway, I thought I'd update you guys. That part, when it comes off, we'll take a look at it. It's going to be, I guess I'll come back in an hour or two when we can take a look at it. All right, so when we come back, Okay, it took a little bit of time to get this puppy cleaned up. This was, that had support all the way around the outside, which I had to tear off with pliers. And it also had support on the inside, of course, because this is how we printed it, just straight up like that. And again, with round things, I usually like, you know, the way you can print, because a lot of times you don't need much support. Now, if I was using Fusion 360, I probably would have put something in here, right back in here, maybe with a 45, so it didn't need support. Same with here, you could do a 45-degree angle, you know, like a fillet right here. Against, you don't need support. But with Plasticity, I was having trouble with putting the fillets and stuff in, or even chamfer and stuff. It looks as easy as garbage on the demos and stuff, and then you go to do it, and it's like, okay, it's not doing what I want. How do I make it do the fillet? And I looked it up, and I did a search for fillet. It didn't show. It was like, okay, I don't quite understand what's going on with this program, but like I said, it's going to take some time to get comfortable or even learn it, I guess, because I'll say something else about Plasticity. There is really, I've watched, I don't know, countless different, you know, tutorials, and you're still sitting there going, wait a minute, I just want some basic knowledge on using these tools, and you're already making something that I don't want. You know, like, why? You know, why are we doing this? So they have some terrible tutorials. Some of the worst I think I've ever seen. Some of the best ones I've seen, of course, is Fusion 360, which watched a fellow years ago, about more than 10 years ago, and he took you step by step from the very basic of modeling to each step and each tool to explain how it would work and things, so that you ended up being able to use Fusion 360 when all was said and done. Just give you a real good close-up. And again, here's the problem. All these flat spottings like this is really, this will be fine for the application we've got with this particular item. But I really, in Plasticity, I have got to figure out how to get rid of this and get more of a round modeling effect. That's miserable, and I really think it's got something to do with that OBG file or something like that, maybe because I'm using the STL. I just really not sure how else we increase the quality of the model so we don't get this silly flat spots all over our rounded model. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching Coffee and Tools. I'm going to get out of here, and please like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you later this week. Over and out.